Hey, who ate all the potato chips? I went in there to get some and they're all gone. Who ate them all? Hi, this is Barry Phillips, a 10-minute tour, day 3 of Kedoshim. And we are in Vayikra, Leviticus chapter 19 still. And we want to go down to verse number 9 that says, "When you reap the harvest of your land, do not completely reap the corners of your field or gather the gleanings of your harvest. And do not glean your vineyard or gather every grape of your vineyard. Leave them for the poor and the sojourner. I am Yahweh your Elohim." When I was a kid, I had a reputation that if anyone opened a bag of potato chips, I'd finish them off. Matter of fact, if someone else didn't open the bag, I opened them myself. That was just the way it was. Sometimes we overindulge and we take more than our share. The Torah here is teaching us that everything that is available to us may not necessarily be rightly ours. It ought to be shared to some extent. For example, if I own a large multi-acre plot of land and I sow this land with a particular crop, the idea is that I don't reap the entire parcel of land all for myself. What's being encouraged here is that one would round off the corners if it's a squared off piece of tract of land. Don't go all the way deep into the corner, all the way to the corner itself and cut across. Round some off. And if the reapers in the process drop something, don't pick it up. And so this is where the story of Ruth comes into play. She was to follow after the reapers who would intentionally, under Boaz's instructions, leave some grain for her to pick up. It is designed in this regard that those who do not own property or have the advantage of sowing to reap, that they can come with dignity and they can work and they can glean and they can have something too. It's not just a handout. The landowner is not reaping everything and then setting up a table to distribute to those who don't have. He is just saying, come reap with me, come work with me, and there will be something for you. But you need to show up, and you need to do your part. In the welfare system of many places, it's just a handout. No effort is required, no investment is required. No labor is required. Just show up, ask, and boom, there it is. Well-meaning charitable organizations sometimes do the same thing, where the dignity is taken away. The reality is that the workman or the laborer is worthy of his hire. The goal is to provide meaningful opportunities to work, to labor, to put your hands to something, to have something rewarding in return. Years ago, around 2014, I believe it was, 10-minute Torah in part was not immediately, but thereafter birthed out of a word that I believe I received from Yah, sitting in the same room. And that is, in prayer, I was told, ask me for the corner harvest. I had no idea what that meant, but obediently I said, Father, I'm asking you to give to me the corner harvest. Then the task was to set out in prayer, figuring out what is the corner harvest. And I was led to this particular text. And in the studying of this text, then I found out a wealthy landowner, again, would curve out the corners, leaving that for the poor. So there is a harvest in the corners. At first, I was a bit disappointed. Father, I wanted something bigger than just the corner harvest. But then I read a commentary that said that the more generous a landowner might be, the larger the curve might be applied. It was a stingy landlord or landowner that would go deep into the corners and leave just a little. One that was generous would leave a large section in the corners. And then I realized there's no one more generous than our Heavenly Father. I also began to realize then that what was symbolically being referred to was personified by those who are isolated, those who feel disenfranchised or cut off, those who have no one to congregate with. You're just out there by yourselves. Many reasons why people feel they're stuck in a corner. 10-Minute Torah is an effort to reach you, to offer to you something that you can participate in and feel connected to the whole. There is another aspect of this beyond inclusion and acceptance and bringing those disconnected and disenfranchised, bringing them together. And that is this: you have to leave something for somebody else. Again, when I was a kid, I'd just eat it all. I've learned over the years to kind of measure that. Don't take the whole bag, get a little and get out. But you have to leave something for somebody else in regards in the area of ministry. Years ago, it was thought that generation following after the baby boomers were eating it all up, gobbling it all up, and leaving nothing behind. Subsequent generations felt like there's nothing going to be left for us. We might as well just forget the future and just live for the immediacy of today. Thankfully, that's been proved not necessarily to be the case. However, when it comes to leadership, when it comes to ministry, when it comes to kingdom labors, those who have been at it for decades, myself included, at some point you need to look beyond your longevity, look behind you, and look, who can I raise up? Not just to fill shoes when I'm gone, not just to take over when I can't, but who can work alongside us now and be groomed and prepared and transitioned so that there's this handing off. That one generation doesn't gobble up all of the ministry and hold on to it, all of the leadership and hold on to it, all of the insights and hold on to it, but rather that there is place given to somebody else. It's a tough thing to do. None of us want to feel insignificant. None of us want to be has-beens and worn outs and done away with type of people. I still feel like I got a lot left to give, a lot left in the tank, a lot of desire to continue to do effective and meaningful ministry. But at the same time, it's time to be praying, Father, who do I raise up? It was a pattern in the history of Israel to establish a co-regent. And by that I mean that a king will not just wait until his deathbed to hand off the scepter of the kingdom to the next one in line, but that he would raise up whoever was next, oftentimes his son, to rule along with him in some level, some functioning fashion, so that when the king passed, that the next king was already established, the people already knew him and his style, and that he already had experience in administration of a nation. May Yah raise up of this generation that's right on our heels and quickly overtaken us. Those that are capable, anointed, and desirous to continue on with what Yah has called us to do. This is the way it's supposed to work. Don't eat it all for yourself. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Then shalom.